What up, B Squad? It's me, JB, and I am here today, you guys, with a brand new review for Love and Marriage Huntsville. Nope, Love and Marriage DC, you guys. Season 2, I believe this is episode. Oh, Jesus. This is episode 12, you guys. Now, the title of this episode was. I have no idea. The title of this episode should be titled Depressed, but it's Throuple time is the title of the episode, you guys. Now, before we jump into it, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, we need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and then having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and also by turning on your post notifications, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let us go ahead and get into this episode of Love and Marriage DC, you guys, shall we? All right, you guys, so this episode, it literally picked up where the last one left off. You guys remember that we were dealing with the stuff with Ashley and Arena meeting up with each other, right? So what I will say is I do still feel like it's 100% childish that Ashley is so upset that Arena went to check on Joy, right? Like, my thing is, that's not something to be 100% upset with somebody about, right? I would have been upset if Joy came into my house with Arena, didn't speak, and Arena just over there kikiing it up with her, or saw that me and her got into it, heard why we got into it, heard the woman call me a bitch, and then defend the woman. I would be upset with that. But the fact that she said she went to go check on Joy, I'm just not understanding it. What I also will say when it comes to Arena, I didn't like when Arena was talking to Ashley because, you know, it takes a lot to calm me down. But Ashley was just saying, you know, we were both getting to a point where it was getting heated. And I was saying, let's both calm it down for the sake of our friendship. And if Arena says even her husband can't stop her, I'm like, well, then that's a problem that you need to look at internally and figure out why you do that. Because it's not a good thing. And it's not a badge of honor. Girl, when I get upset, you know, it ain't no calming me down. Which, I mean, I'll be honest. When I get upset, sometimes it depends on the situation, right? If it's one of those situations where you've been poking and poking and poking and poking, then yeah, I'm not going to be able to calm down. But if it's just a situation where tempers are flared and like in this situation, and my friend's like, let's just calm down and be like, you know what, you're right. We arguing and screaming and fighting over what? Nothing. If it's something trivial and stupid, absolutely. But Arena and Ashley both apologized to each other, right? Now, what I will say is I don't believe that Ashley is jealous of the relationship with Arena and Joy. I don't think it's jealousy. I'll tell you guys what I think it is. I get a little bit of pressed, right? I get that Ashley comes off quite pressed with this situation. It doesn't come off as jealousy. But you guys will let me know what you think in the comment section below. And then we move over to Winter and Joy. Winter. Ma'am. So Winter and Joy are working out, right? All I wanted was for Winter to take that ugly ass wig off and just kind of throw it in the incinerator, throw it back to the pits of hell from which she came, because that wig was just an absolute, my God, no. It wasn't for Winter. So Winter and Joy are talking, right? They're talking about the party, and Joy is telling how she got kicked out of Ashley's party. Now, Joy, you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of Joy, right? What I will say is, Joy, we're going to have to be honest about everything. Yes, she kicked you out of her house. Yes, she told your business to Alicia. But I felt like you went into that house with ulterior motives. I don't feel like you went to Ashley's house to reconcile things with Ashley. I think you literally went there for get the shit started, right? Because you walked into the woman's house. You didn't speak to her. You called her a bitch in her home. So Ashley had every right to feel how she felt about you. So for you to sit here and just kind of make it off that Ashley is, the big bad guy, it ain't all on Ashley. We're not gonna put this all on Ashley. Absolutely, we're not gonna put this all on Ashley. And that's just all I gotta say about that. You guys can definitely tell me how you feel about it, but I don't feel it. So Joy did reveal to Winter that she and Clifton are married, and I'm so glad that even Joy, I mean not Joy, but Winter was like, so why was it a secret? They can't tell why it was a secret. Like I said last week, I'm wondering if it was a secret because of the fact that these two potentially, I don't know if they maybe wanted a spinoff for their wedding. I don't know if they wanted to get married on the show and have it paid for. I don't know. I'm just guessing because to me it doesn't make a whole lot of sense why they kept the fact that they were married a secret when the title of this show is Love and Marriage DC. But hey, I'm trying to make something make sense that don't make sense because it's just really interesting to me. And also, what I will say is very interesting is currently we know that Winter and Ashley are actually cool with each other, right? And it's just interesting hearing Winter talk about, you know, especially Alicia. And y'all know how Ashley's about Alicia. But I know that they went live I know they went live this past Saturday, right? And they had what's her name, Carmen, on their YouTube channel. I think it's Ashley's channel. And then they talked. I don't know what was said. Don't care what was said. But hey, I was just thinking about that. I'm like, that's interesting. Now we'll pause here and move forward, you guys. So next up, you guys, we see Ashley, and Ashley is with her assistant. So I don't know what the timeline of the. This is why I said they should have just scrapped this and started anew because at this point we are all like it's all so confusing. Like this would have been better if it had, they had aired this last year because now it's like all disjointed and shit. Because Ashley's assistant came to her and is telling her about the things that Lil Jamie had posted on his Instagram story. So this is after the episode aired where Quick was calling him a bad kid. And he had his opinions and he had things to say about what Quick said. Ashley called up Arena, and Arena was like, whenever you guys want to come over, just let us know, and we'll be here. We'll work it out, right? And then we move over and we see Clifton. So if you guys are not familiar with Clifton and Joy and Carmen, so there's a show that comes on Friday nights. It's called Rated to Love, and it's a show where single people come together to find love, right? They date each other, they go on different dates with each other, and they at the end of it, the people who make it to the end, they either choose to go forward with a relationship or go their separate ways. At one point in Ready to Love, Carmen was introduced later in the season, if I'm remembering this correctly. She was introduced later in the season, and she liked Clifton, right? But Clifton, he was going. Who was it? It was three people that Clifton was interested in. It was Joy. It was Carmen. But he quickly ended things with Carmen, if I'm remembering correctly. And then it came down to a woman by the name of Dakia. So it was between Dakia and Miss Joy here, right? And he ultimately ended up choosing Joy. And people, they always, every time you see these two, Clifton and Joy, that is, you always see Carmen there's the third wheel, and it's like, my God, that's why the Throuple thing come up, right? So Clifton is meeting up with Carmen. He says Carmen has been doing his PR since Ready to Love, right? They are really playing into this Throuple situation. Don't understand why. It's bullshit. Don't care about it. So you guys know he has his beard oil business, and he's talking about doing the copyright for his business. And Carmen is telling him, it could take up, which it really could. It could take up to a year to get that kind of stuff done. It's not like instantaneous. It can take a while with a copyright, a patent, and all that kind of stuff. Those things do take time, right? But that's really all I got for it. So she feels like Joy maybe has a lot on her plate, and she'll help out where she can. I was like, okay, I mean, I guess. Not that I really gave a damn, but hey, whatever, whatever. But yeah, you guys, that's that. I guess we'll pause here and move forward. All right, you guys. So next up, we see Winter. Winter is in the studio, and she's in the studio with Black Block. Now, I know that man's name now is Black, right? Or is it Block? Whichever one. Now, I'll clear this up because I had people in the first half of season 2 always in the comments correcting me, you guys. And I think by now y'all should know if I do things like that, that's just because I couldn't, I'm almost similar to like Roxanne, right? Because you know how when people correct her by names, you just call them the double names, right? I'm the same way, right? Because with them, I thought for the longest time they were saying the man's name was Block, so I kept calling him Block. But then I was like, I don't know if that's his name. Then when I finally got it, it's Black. I was like, oh, well, should have been calling him Block for the longest time. So shit, his name is Black Block, just like with his wife. Now her name, the reason why I called her Sherelle is because I could never figure out what her real name was, because certain people on the cast called her Sherelle, but Ashley called her Sherella. So I was like, you know what? Let's just call the woman Sherelle. So y'all know I do give certain people nicknames. So that's a nickname for them. I know his name is Black, and I know her name is Sherelle. So I do know that, you guys. I do know that. It's just the nicknames have stuck, and I'm just gonna stick with them, right? Now, Winter, like I said, she's in the studio with Black Block, and her sister came down, right? So at this point, now I'm going to be honest about this one. I don't know this man's name that well, so I may be pronouncing his name wrong. But the guy that she's dating on the show, is his name Usha, whatever his name is, Usha, whatever. I don't know. I think it's Yusha, but it's Yusha. I think it's Yusha. So they're 4 months in the game, and it's so interesting because she called that man a wide-hipped hussy on Twitter the other night. I was like, damn. She said that after their date in the last episode, he called her and told her he loves her. Now, her sister feels that, she might be moving too fast. I was like, you think? I mean, hell, what did she tell us about Kevin? How long were they together before they were, when they have a pandemic relationship too? But hell, her sister thinks she's moving too fast, and her sister basically wants her to slow down. Winter wants Mr. Yusha to be more expressive. I was like, okay. And Winter, 4 months in, I think we're asking a little bit too much for a 4-month relationship. I really do think that we're asking a little too much for a 4-month relationship. That's just my personal opinions. You guys will definitely tell me how you guys feel in the comment section. But I absolutely do believe that 4 months, that's a little soon for us to want him to be super expressive. But hey, it's her life. If she likes it, I love it, right? It ain't got nothing to do with me. But yeah, you guys, we will pause. No, we'll keep on going. So the next thing we got was the scene with the Silvas meeting up with the Tylers. And at first, it was a lot of cussing and a lot of screaming between Quick and Lil Jamie, right? So here's 2 things that I will say. Do I think Quick meant any harm by saying that he was a bad kid? No. Do I understand where Lil Jamie's coming from? 100%. Do I understand where Big Jamie's coming from? Absolutely. It's like, because Big Jamie's thing was, for Quick, don't come to me, don't come in my house saying what I've said about my son, that I call my son a bum. Now, I will ask the question of, why are you calling your child a bum? As a parent, I don't think that you would want to call your kids a bum, but hey, who am I? Like, I'm not a parent, so I don't have kids, but I wouldn't want to call I would feel like that would just be beating up and beating down on your child to tell them what they're not, what they, you a piece of shit. You ain't a gonna account to a motherfucking like saying stuff like that. Just to, I mean, I don't give a fuck how old your child is. You don't beat up on them. I mean, the world already does that enough for, especially us as black people. The world already beats up on us. Why are we beating up on our kids? I just don't understand it. But hey, again, he ain't my son, and I can't speak towards her, right? And I understood where little Jamie was coming from, because the thing was, he's seeing what people saying on social media about him, and then he watches the show and he sees what Quick is also saying, so he felt the way, and so he felt. Now I was with Quick, right? You got my number. That's the one thing I hate about people. My God, I can't stand social. That is the one thing about social media I cannot stand. Oh my God, it gets on my nerves, because I have absolutely had people do that to me before. They see something that I say on social media and they get in their fucking feelings. I've had friends and family do that before. They see something that I post on social media and they be like, and then they'll come back and it's, I guess you would say it's like subtweet or stuff like that. They'll come back and say something. It's like, bitch, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about something. Most times when I post things, like especially when I used to come to Facebook, when I used to be on there, I would post song lyrics, and they would be like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "That is a song lyric, you dumbass." And then they start going. I'm like, "I wasn't talking about you. You got my phone number. Why would you? Why would you think that I would? If you felt that I was talking about you, text me, call me. I'd be like, oh shit, you saw that. Oh, bitch, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about a goddamn song. Like, and that's really happened, right? Like, it's a song I was talking about. Like, text me. If you got my number, if you have my number, that means we have a deep connection with each other. That means if you feel strongly about anything that you see or hear, you got my number. Reach out and be like, hey, fool, I just saw this on your Instagram, your Twitter, your TikTok, your Facebook, your whatever other social media forms there are. Who are you talking about? Now I have had people do that to me before too. Call me and be like, what are you talking? Who are you talking about? I actually had my cousin do that before. She was like, she saw a post that I made and she was like, who are you talking about? I was like, it's a song. I was like, it's literally a song. It's literally a song. Or like one time I was talking about the soap operas, and she was like, well, "Who are you talking about?" I was like, "Girl, I was watching General Hospital, and I was, tweeting about GH." She was like, "Oh, I thought you were talking about somebody," because one of them like, "Oh, I was ready to fight." I was like, "You gonna fight a fictional character?" But I got where Quick was coming from, right? They eventually apologized to each other. I'm going to say this and just wrap this up with a nice little bow, right? Lil Jamie, he should have called Quick. Quick should have never said anything about him being a bad kid, right? Here's the thing. I think, like I was just saying a few minutes ago about, Big Jamie beating up on Little Jamie, telling him he's a bum and all that kind of stuff. I don't agree with that, right? And I also don't agree with saying you're a bad kid. I don't think that any kid is like really bad unless they are, even if they're getting in trouble with the law, right? They're not bad. They're just going down a wrong path. And it's up to you as the parent to say, okay, I see what path you're going down. I don't want you to end up in prison or worse, in a grave, right? So it's up to you to, try to guide them on the right path. Because even in my teenage years, you could look at some of the things that I was doing and say, oh, he was a bad kid, but my mom was the sweetest person, and I had everything that I could have ever wanted. But, peer pressure, well, I ain't gonna say peer pressure. Some of it was peer pressure, but not a lot of it, right? But some of the things that I did in my teenage years, I was just a teenager, just trying to figure out who I am and just navigate through being a teenager, right? I skipped school. I smoked weed. I used to shoplift, right? Don't say anything, but yeah, I used to shoplift when I was a teenager. It was really bad. Never got caught out of all the years, and I shoplifted from, yikes. And the crazy part about me shoplifting was I didn't even have to do it. I didn't have to do it. It was just, if I asked my mom, my grandmother, or anybody in my family for anything that I wanted, I got it. But at that time, like I said, just a teenager, just doing stupid shit, hanging. Actually, it wasn't. I wouldn't say peer pressure. What it was at the time hanging out with the wrong people. That's what it was. I hung out with some of the wrong people, and I did stupid things that my mama used to ask me. And I got caught. I got caught by her stealing. Never got caught by the cops. Crazy. Never got caught by the cops. My friends did, but I never did. Right? And she would ask me, "Why do you do? Why are you doing that?" Like at one point, I'm like, she's like, you're working. Like, if you ask me, I may say no right now, but I'll eventually get it for you. So it was like, yeah, I know I do stupid things. I know. So I wasn't a quote unquote bad kid. I just did dumb. I just went down a wrong path for a little bit of time, and I did dumb things that were bad decisions. And that's what Quick should have said. We'll pause here and wrap up the damn episode, you guys. So the next thing that I want to talk about, it's interesting listening to Ashley talk to Quick about Clifton. Like I said, I don't think she's jealous. I think she's pressed as hell. Joy and Clifton, I really don't care about them and this whole copyright situation, the business. I don't care. Period. Don't care. Then we got this scene where the guys met up to go to a wrestling gym, right? And I was like, okay, it is what it is, right? They talked. The thing that I'm questioning is, well, no, I'm not even questioning it. It's production, because Quick was talking about he's not friends with Clifton. I was like, so why invite him? It's a group event, so you have to invite him. Quick, not Quick, but Clifton asked him for advice about working with their spouse, and I actually kind of agreed with what Quick said. Don't do it, right? Because I feel like you have to know if you're going into business with your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, you have to figure out the balance, and you have to be like, okay, we leave work when we finish working for the whenever we finish working, it stays here. We don't take that home, because Quick said that there was almost an issue. His marriage, with the club, their marriage almost didn't survive, and that's because you have to figure out how to balance. And I don't know people. There are people who do it successfully. I don't know how, but hey, there are people who do it successfully. That's the episode, you guys. If I missed anything and you guys want to discuss it, feel free to put it down in the comment section, you guys. And that is all we got. I will get off of here, you guys. I hope you guys have a great day. Take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So the next video up is Potomac, and I still have to watch Married to Medicine. I know I've said that for the last 2 weeks, but I do intend to watch this week's episode of Married to Medicine and have it up for you guys. Now, when is the question? When is the question about when Married to Medicine will be up? My goal for Married to Medicine is to be up no later than Tuesday evening, right? So I'm going to try to watch it sometime today, and then, like I said, I'll try to get it up there tomorrow sometime, or late tonight or early tomorrow. But we'll see, you guys. But that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one.